Rita, tell us about this story out of New York, a tragic story.
Which tragic story? There's plenty of tragic stories in New York right now. Can I possibly bring to you something closer to home? Because just this weekend, we have seen absolute madness in Victoria with people who'd come down from Brisbane to go to a football game, including football commentators, chucked out of the stadium here because there was a case of COVID in Brisbane. There's 2 cases of community transmission in that city, and our state has already imposed these ridiculous restrictions where if you've been in Brisbane since March 12, you have to self-isolate and get tested. I mean, we are never, ever going to have any confidence going into state if our premiers are going to be this panicked about a single case and lock down and close down borders based on just a couple of cases. And we've got the school holidays coming up. Who's going to spend good money going into state if you might get stranded and not be able to go back, or you'll have to self-isolate when you get back?
Yeah, exactly. And tell us, Rita, about you had people being hauled out because they'd gone, you saw people in the news being hauled out. What was all that about?
Oh, well, before the game started on Friday night, I think it was between the Cats and the Lions, there was an announcement. So even a couple of the commentators who were there for Channel 7, Wayne Carey and Luke Hodge, they had to get out of the stadium. They had to just go and isolate because that was the directive from the Victorian Health Department. I mean, it is just madness. I really think we are completely losing the plot. And how are we ever going to open up as a country? How are we even going to open up borders between states and have some confidence that you can travel, you can start a business, you can invest money when these state premiers are behaving so hysterically?
James?
And again, I would say, I mean, first of all, yes, this was one of the silliest things I've seen in this entire year of really silly overreactions to things. Not, the serious things that you needed to do, but with 1 case or 2 cases, you start telling anybody who's been to the wrong place to get out of the stadium. This should be making everybody just howl with both laughter and outrage. And again, I have to wonder, where is Scott Morrison on this? I mean, he wants to change the conversation. He is getting towelled up every single day by left activists, feminists, everybody else for treatment of women. Well, how about changing the conversation and saying, this is ridiculous. State health departments, pull your head in. We are rolling out the vaccine far too slowly, I might add, but they are rolling it out. And we know so much more about this disease now than we did a year ago. For anybody to be acting this way is just insane. And Morrison really ought to change the conversation this week and start calling this out and say, guys, we're drawing a line under it. It's a new era. Vaccine is rolling out. We are getting on with business.
Exactly. Rita?
I am so there. The Prime Minister needs to show some leadership here. He really needs to take a stand. He has been absent for the last 12 months whilst the states have done this. Remember, they were supporting Clive Palmer in WA, but they pulled out of that case. And since then, there has just been absolutely no leadership on this issue. We need to be a country. We're not a collection of states. We are Australia, and we need the Prime Minister to affirm that. I think we really have so lost the plot. We keep congratulating ourselves about how well we're doing compared to the rest of the world. That's because our international borders are closed. That's the only reason why we don't have COVID. But at some point, we will have to open those borders and we will have to rejoin the world. And I really worry about when that's going to be, particularly given the glacial pace of the vaccine rollout.